Hi everybody, I'm Frank Vaccaro from Dragonflow. So today I wanted to talk about a Zen Buddhist concept called beginner's mind. So at first I didn't quite understand what beginner's mind actually meant. And so there's this saying in beginner's mind, right? In the expert's mind, there are few options. In the beginner's mind, there's infinite options. And there's other variations of the quote that go somewhere along those lines. So what does that mean? Basically, when you have beginner's mind, your mind is very flexible and you could do almost anything. When you have an expert's mind, you have become a little bit rigid. And in fact, you eliminate possibility, which actually also eliminates creativity. Now, I have been working in two different domains that it's very important to have beginner's mind, although few people apply the beginner's mind concept. And these two domains are basically in sports and in music. In music, I remember when I was a young boy, you would see a musician and you would automatically assume that you're a better musician than them, or you find ways to prove that you're a better musician than them. In sports, I see a lot of the same crap. Basically, what you see is somebody, they do calisthenics, so they put down muscle building with weights. Or somebody does Kung Fu, and they'll put down maybe Krav Maga. Somebody does Krav Maga, and they'll put down Taekwondo, and so on and so forth. The truth is, whatever art you're undertaking, we have not invented the biomechanics of the body, and we have not invented the physics of the world. We're just discovering what notes make music, and we're just discovering how the body moves. So if somebody is doing a certain type of art, say Taekwondo or Krav Maga or Capoeira, they are exploring the body in the realms of that art. Now, say I'm doing something completely different, like Wing Chun or Tai Chi. It's not to say that I have to put it down. I have to come back to beginner's mind and try looking at these arts from a very, very kind of childlike vantage point, which is to say, I have to look at it like I know nothing, and like I'm looking at it for the very first time. So if I'm looking at a new martial art, I have to look at it like it's a new martial art, and that I don't know anything about martial arts in that regard, so that I could learn and that I can grow. If I make myself rigid and I try and use the expert's mind, then what happens is I block myself up from a lot of creative knowledge. And this prevents me from growing, prevents me from thinking, and it prevents me from better performing. So beginner's mind could be used in any domain. It could be used in relationships, it could be used in sports, it could be used in music, it could be used even in accounting, if you will. The thing is, you have to look at something as if you're looking at it from the very first time, and you have to absorb the information given to you from that particular subject. Now, if somebody's trying to teach me a move from a martial art that I've never heard about before, or I've never practiced before, and I block myself out because in my mind I'm assuming that what I've practiced is superior to this, I prevent myself from learning what this person has to offer me. If you're doing beginner's mind, you have to pretend that you haven't learned anything yet. Just absorb the information, take it in, and then let your creativity decide what you can do or cannot do with it. In music, it's the same thing, right? If I play drums and I meet a fellow drummer and I assume that I'm better than him just because my ego kicks in the way and I use, again, the expert's mind, I block myself from learning from this person. And the truth is, what you have accumulated in terms of knowledge today is not who you are, right? It's just an abundance of knowledge that you have stored in your mind and integrated through your body. But it's not who you are. So you should not associate with the information that you have integrated in your mind and body. You should simply try and explore with that information to acquire new and more possible avenues of information. And you can only do so if you actually put a little stronghold on the information you already have, calm the ego a little bit, and act as if maybe you just don't know. And that is the beginner's mind. The beginner's mind is that you are at the beginning of something and you just don't know. The minute you pretend to know Then the expert's mind takes over, and this is horrible, because when the expert minds take over, you limit yourself to all kinds of new possibilities. So, in closing, beginner's mind. Always look at things with a fresh new outlook, especially as an athlete, right? Because you can be doing calisthenics and realize, hey, you know, there's an exercise I'm working out that weights would help me with. Or you're doing weights and realize, you know what? Pull-ups would help me a little bit with this particular exercise. Or you might be doing a certain martial arts that's lacking in blocks, right? And then you're like, you know what, that martial art is interesting. Or you might be doing a martial arts that's all blocks, like I did Aikido, it's all defense, right? And at some point I'm realizing Aikido's beautiful, but they have no kicking and punching. And so I wanted to learn how to kick and punch. So I can't approach a Taekwondo master or a boxing master and be like, I don't need to do this stuff because I do Taekwondo. Or I do whatever it is that I do. I have to approach them with beginner's mind. I have to look at things as if I'm looking at them for the very first time, and then re-change the physiology of my mind to further gain information and creativity. Guys, I hope this is helpful. Namaste.